My goodness. Well, technology is exciting.
Go. Yeah. Direct it, make it. Go. Yeah. As I was told.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Connected. I'm your host, DJ Iz. I got my girl with me. What's up, Chloe? Say what's up.
Good morning. Happy Labor Day, y'all. I know, right?
Man, you know, I bet you we had some folks that thought we were going to come through today because it's Labor Day. But, Chloe, I want you to give them the proper definition of what Labor Day is.
Guys, basically, Labor Day is something we've been celebrating for over 100 years. And it's paying tribute to the contribution and achievements of the working force, which is perfect because we were here giving people jobs. It became a federal holiday in 1886 after this big-ass riot called the Haymarket Riot, when people are like, oh, no, we need to be protected, we need unions, and blah, 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 blah. They riot, there's a strike, there's all of these things that happen, people died, may they rest. And after that, the government, this is also coming off the Industrial Revolution, where this like big economic and social boom. And after that, people were like, okay, people, we hear you, we need to celebrate you, no more like 27.5-hour work days, children are not going to work, we're going to protect you, and we're going to give you this day in celebration. So it became a federal holiday in 1886.
You know, Chloe, you just gave me some education. I feel so well educated now on Labor Day.
Do you?
I do. That's dope.
To be fair, it was the rail station, and back then, you shut down the trains, life was over.
Right.
It was like at the New York City subway shut down. Anyway.
Well, all the more reason for us to get this show rolling, because I'm about to enjoy my day. What are you doing today? Are we there? Hello. And we have seemed to have glitched.
To our Grind Opps?
Yes.
Oh, yay!
I'm back. So before we get into the Grind Opps, we're going to jump into pretty much what this show is about for those of you that are just tuning in. This show Connected here is about not just mentoring or education or any of that possibly can be boring stuff, but we like to bring you jobs here, and I'm excited about that because, it's something that nobody's doing, better yet, more or less just doesn't exist the way we're doing it. So what we'd like to do is tell you before we get into these Grind Opps, you might want to get your notepad. I used to say pen and pad, but I'm realizing folks don't really write down information anymore. So get your iPad, get your cell phone. Chloe, demonstrate my beautiful van and Wyatt. Show them what's up. Yeah, exactly. So, because the information we give out along with these Grind Opps is super crucial, and it's something you definitely want to have on hand, on deck at all times, just to study prior to showing up to any of these Grind Opps and interviews. So without further notice or further ado, we're going to jump up into our first Grind Opp of Labor Day Monday, which is in the field of video editor, and in the field of film, and this is in Birmingham, Alabama. I want you to say that with me. Birmingham, Alabama. All right, this is for an independent producer seeking video editor for a reality show picked up by Vamp Media. Video editor will be responsible for delivering one episode per week. He or she must be able to work with deadlines. I mean, that's always a must. Candidate must be proficient. Yes, with either Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro. Candidate must have a real prepared display past work. He or she will be working closely with the show producer. Now, Chloe, I feel like more or less and more often we're getting these details that go along with these jobs that are pretty self-explanatory. I mean, some things we usually dive in, but for the most part, when it's talking about being proficient with Adobe Premiere Final Cut Pro, I'd like to think that anybody who has invested time into the film side and video editing that they know these terms, as well as
Yes.
you know, being on time and being able to handle a workload.
And having a
and a
reel.
reel. And having a reel. Now we just featured. We actually featured
Anthony.
a guest last week, Anthony, who had a great reel. What were some of the things that stood out to you in his reel?
He had a bunch of people that were vouching for him. Like he was there maybe for a second, but he had people that are coming to bat for him. It was also quick. It was shot beautifully, and it had this really lovely, lighthearted element to it. That I don't know. I feel like it can be light. It can be fun to show who you are, sort of a thing.
Right.
Yeah, and that was for Jam in the Van.
I think.
Yeah,
and it also showed his environment and the environment he works in that pertain to his particular field, which is in recording. So it showed a lot of working with different people. So I think those are some of the good things visually that you want to definitely feature and highlight in a reel. Also, some of these job ops come with actual company names. So, for instance, this one is called, or could be possibly picked up by a company called Vamp Media. So you might want to kind of just do some homework on that, check out who Vamp Media is, and kind of just get a feel for what those things look like as far as what they're about and what kind of content they have tagged with them.
And real quick, before we move into the second one, I just want to say that in terms of the fact that this is a video editor for a reality show, meaning that you're going to be weeding through a lot of footage, because reality TV, they're just shooting it, and then it's up to you to tell the story, essentially, with the help often of the producer or whomever else. But you're going to be sifting through a lot of footage to get to the gold. So that to know that. Right. So film connection, recording connection, all that. Anyway, as you were.
As you know, did we hit them with our social media handles before we jump into Grind Up number 2?
I don't think that we did. I don't believe that we did. I don't think it.
Hit them with the info.
Guys,
so they know.
We're across the social media. If you're looking for us, we're easy to find. Why? Because we're at Is Connected. Is Connected on Twitter. Is Connected on the Instagram machine. Find us on Facebook at Is Connected. You can also, on our Facebook page, see links to some of our past episodes. Case in point, the last 2 that we did with Alexa and Anthony. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, find us. Talk to us. We love it. Thank you, and continue.
There you go. So now you have it. And it's a great way to kind of just track our movement throughout the week. Me and Chloe have a lot of things going on. It's a great way for you to kind of get a first-hand view and look of kind of what these different environments and arenas contain. I mean, you'll see us around tons of folks. You'll see Chloe hosting. You'll see me hosting. You'll see me in the studio. You'll see Chloe getting her whole act up. See that can't give it. It's a great way to stay in tune with us throughout the week. So we're gonna move up into Grind Up number 2. Girl, go ahead and hit them with this Grind Up number 2. Girl.
Would love to. So this Grind Up is an artist digital marketing based in Santa Monica, California. Red Bull, Red Bull, is seeking an artist marketing representative that will be responsible for creating media content for artists assigned to him or her. The candidate must be passionate about great stories and able to make these relatable. Candidate must understand the importance of editing a storyline for simplicity and emotional resonance. Bookmark that, because that's real specific. We're going to come back to that. He or she will be responsible for delivering artist budget proposals, timelines, and be able to communicate with all stakeholders. It's a great opportunity for music business graduates. At about this point in time, if that's so, you're probably wondering what was in my Like a Boss cup, being that it's Labor Day. I will tell you it's green tea.
All right. So, are there anything you want to speak on as far as the details you just read off?
just real quick, I just want to hit when they say, it kind of ties into what we were just talking about with the film editing and being able to tell a story. As an editor, that's huge, right? And what they're asking you to not just tell a story, but to be passionate about the story that you tell, to make it connect to the audience in a specific way, to play to the hearts and minds of your audience, right? So yes, we're talking about more than a clear beginning, middle, and end. We're talking about message. We're talking about ethos, pathos, and all that sort of stuff.
Right. You know, one of the things that really stood out to me, right. One of the things that really stood out to me, something that I haven't had a chance to, or we haven't had a chance to bring up on our show, because this is, I think, the first detail that has kind of popped out to me, which was delivering artists budgets and proposals. Now that is a very, very something you definitely want to have experience in. Obviously, you want to even have experience in dealing with a budget and putting a budget together and crunching numbers. That's a whole. I'm going to save that one because to me that's a whole nother show within itself. Preparing budgets. A lot of times I've found that preparing budgets also comes with having relationships, which then allows you to reach out to folks, have an array of folks you can reach out to, crunching numbers. Those kind of things are very, very crucial in this particular grind up when you're dealing with those things, and then you're dealing with the timelines, and then you're being able to deal with having to communicate with stakeholders. That's a huge thing that we can. I mean, that's a half an hour show, Chloe. Just that alone right there.
I just made a note. It's a note. Note is made.
That's something we might want to feature as a topic on next week's show that we can kind of dive into.
How to deal with the money.
I like to kind of, I kind of like to equate that to when we were first kind of introduced how to put that whole template together, what goes into it, what you don't want to put into it, so those kind of things. So keep in mind, let's keep that in mind as a topic for us to jump into on next week's show.
Love it.
All right, moving up into Grind Op number 3. Grind Op number 3 is in the field of radio. All right, so cool. We got some radio opportunities here. Radio station seeking board operator to ensure technical quality of programs in the studio from syndications or from remote pickup points. On their responsibilities will include regulating timing of programs and commercials based on FCC regulations. Know your regulations. Yes. Candidate will be provided adequate training, including workshops as requested. Candidate must have at least 1 year of experience in a radio station, and this is in Los Angeles, California, our hometown. Now, here's a great thing. Anything that lends itself to experience, I know we got covered at the Recording Connection with our students because we put them through a real-time mentorship where they're actually in the field, in the studio, in the station, on set, getting first-hand experience in real time. So this is another great opportunity for our Recording Connection students. So, you know, obviously you definitely want to know just the parameters. You know, it talks about dealing with, you know, programs, regulated timing based on FCC regulations. So those are some of the things you want to be up to speed on. I know if anybody has at least a year experience, you already know what you're diving into.
Yes.
And the cool thing is you'll be provided with. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, just to reinforce, like when you said know your FCC regulations, know your FCC regulation. That's all. Continue.
Right. Okay. Also, too, you know, the cool thing is they'll be providing adequate training upon your request. So if there's things you want to like take advantage of, those are the kind of opportunities you definitely want to do that because you honestly want to get as much training as you possibly can. Not sure how they break these down as far as the different fields of the job, but I would assume, you know, you'd want to take advantage of any type of training that they're offering, just so you can, you know, obtain as much information as you possibly can.
And that goes back to what Alexa was saying a couple weeks ago about asking as many questions as you can. You can't ask too many questions. To hear more on that, check out our episode that we did with Alexa Cooper about 2 weeks ago. She is working direct with A$AP Rocky. and that's a recording connection
Oh
alone.
yeah, you better tell them. Now we can show them better than we can tell them, Cloie. So I think that's another great thing, you know, for you guys who have been tuning in faithfully. We got some really great things coming up in the next couple of weeks where, you know, you get to see these people firsthand that come from the same background, look just like you, going to the same school, recording connection, or even not, but just in the field alone that are actually landing these jobs. And I feel like what other better way, Cloie, than to have them on our show, tell their story, get to hear from their perspective of how they were able to find the opportunity, then take advantage of the opportunity and land a gig. You know, so some great things we got coming up that I'm excited about. You know, so without any further ado, we're going to move into Grind Op number 4. Grind Op number 4 is in the field of cinematography. They're looking for a cinematographer and editor. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada.
It is. Film connection, pay attention.
Now, you know, this is another company, media company, looking to create promo videos for hotels, restaurants, and specific events. Sounds all fun, you know, sounds like some cool stuff that, you know, I always think of these kind of gigs as somebody who's very mobile, who has their gear, and who just loves to capture content, all right?
Yes.
So this is a media company, again, looking to create promo videos for hotels, restaurants, and specific events. Just like I was saying, here we go. Candidate will be traveling with the producer to film at remote locations. Isn't that something?
We were just talking about that. That's so funny.
Okay. We just, you know, here we go. That's what I'm saying. Candidate will be expected to work independently, sending segments and revisions in a timely manner. Candidate must have a real displaying promotional material. You know what's great about these details? This is kind of like everything we've just covered, right? So, revisions in a timely manner. What does that lend itself to? What lends itself to a person, information, a person who's structured, a person who's prompt, a person who's on time, a person who knows how to deal with deadlines, and execute, which are huge components of any type of gig, right? I mean, Cloie, I know for you, right? Because I know you're just, you know, you're sharper than a mosquito's pita.
Oh, I gotta pop my collar a little more. Yeah.
You know how? I mean, you tell me. I mean, how important is it for someone like you to just be structured, be on time, execute, deliver, deadlines, workload? How important is it to be able to manage all those different components in just the world of work?
The most, because in what I do, yes, I have agents and managers, and I'm very fortunate, but not everybody has that. The fact of the matter is, you are your own creator and destroyer, right?
Yes.
So you got to be your own boss, right? Like a boss. Yep. Shout out to my great girl Laura, who got me this boss. That's right. But no, it's me. It's me with myself trying to drive and make a way, right? And oftentimes you get discouraged, and it's about finding out how to get through that, because there's no time organization, because you can't come and say, oh, I didn't meet that deadline because I didn't get an audition and I was sad, or, you know, it just doesn't exist. Right. So it's the most important. That's the most.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you have it. Firsthand. All right. So those are very brief details on that one. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Anybody in the field of, cinematography and editing, I mean, you know what those terms are. I think most of the things that we want to reiterate is just structure, meeting deadlines, and executing. Yes. Really, and you know.
Yes.
I'll also say with this one, Cloie, they should always know their gear, know their equipment, be up to speed on the most current gadgets being used. You always want to be ahead of the curve on those things, especially on the software side,
Because change is so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Change is really fast. So, moving up into Grind Op number 5, our last Grind Op of Labor Day weekend Monday. Go ahead and hit them with this one, Cloie. I'll start it off. This is in Chicago, Illinois. Okay.
Shout out Chi-Town.
Sound mixer. Shout out to Chi-Town. digital media company and news satire organization seeking a sound mixer that will be responsible for mixing daily and weekly video content. What else, Chloe?
Candidate will also be responsible for going on location to record production sound as well as voiceover sessions. Candidate must have experience using Pro Tools and a 5.1 mixing understanding. Candidate must have experience using, there you go, hello. Candidate must have experience using Foley recording techniques. Candidate must be able to work independently and be able to meet deadlines. There's that D word again. And by D, I don't mean damn it.
Or
I could.
Never
damn
mind.
It, deadline. Yeah.
So, again, this is another great opportunity for our recording connection students, because this is another job that, definitely lends itself to having some experience. It's, it gets technical when you're using Pro Tools and 5.1 mixing and all that stuff. And again, anybody who is in this field of sound mixing and engineering, what have you, you definitely know what these words mean. So, like I said, this is something that definitely requires a bit of information and experience, because you will be responsible for mixing daily and weekly video content.
For sure. Ooh, can I say something really quickly when you're done?
Go for it.
I just want to highlight the fact that it's a satire news organization. So it's not like we're talking about CNN. We're talking more like The Daily Show, right? For those of you that don't know what satire is, here's your textbook definition. The use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues.
Got it. Yep. There you go.
So,
just hit you with a full list and mouthful of information right there. Right?
Satire, guys. Satire news organization. That's important because you've got to be able to tell that story too. Continue is.
Right. So, honestly, this is more of a technical grind out to me, because you're mixing, and anybody who knows, when you're mixing, it's a very detailed type of job. And this can be video, this can be visual, this can be audio. So definitely, be up to speed on those things. Let me see, what else can I point out in these details?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. You'll be going on location to record production sound, so that can be cool. Just being able to experience different venues for recording, and the cool thing in this role, when you tend to go to different venues, you tend to meet different folks, and it's great way to build relationships. So that's definitely something.
I also imagine that for this, it means you have to be even more so on top of your game, because you're talking about mixing in various elements that you don't necessarily know what's happening, right?
Right. Yeah. So definitely something to keep in mind. So that is our last grind op of the day. Also, too, we want to tell you guys where to apply for these jobs. Okay, so where you apply for these jobs is at connected@rrfedu.com. Again, connected@rrfedu.com. That is the only place you can apply, register, show up, info, the whole nine. That's where you want to go to apply for these jobs. Also, too, if you want to send us anything, questions, content, Chloe, can you let them know where they can catch us at?
Guys, you can connect with us at connected@rrfedu.com.
There you go.
And across social media, because where it is connected on social media, because where it is connected.
I mean, because that's where we're at.
So that's our email, and yeah.
Yeah. So right about now, we would usually do our Q&A. We don't have a whole lot of questions in today, but we do have a cat, Jones. What's up, Jones? Who's actually, he said he's mixing his album today. He's like, yo, that's what I'm doing today, which is cool because I like it. He's at it. He's at it on what we call a holiday, and he's mixing his album. So that's really dope. Shout out to Jones for connecting with us today. He also had a question. Any jobs on the horizon in Nashville? Well, here's the thing, Jones. This is something where you just kind of got to stay connected with us throughout the Mondays of these shows, because we actually have had a couple of jobs in Nashville. Last week we had one. Last week we had one, and these are, for some strange reason, we get really dope venues in Nashville. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but yes, we we will definitely have some more opportunities for you in Nashville. So definitely stay connected. Keep logging in with us, and we'll have something for you. But shout out to you anyway for being here with us on a Monday and
Get
mixing
your grind
y'all
on.
Get your grind on.
Hashtag get your grind on.
You know, hey, let's log that one in. Let's log that one in. It's something we can hashtag for what it is we do. Now, because it is a Monday, on this side of things, I'm going to keep it brief because, Chloe, I do have a part of my day. I do have a life and a part of my day that I want to enjoy. I know our connected team, Mike, Howie, Brian. I know these cats, definitely want to enjoy their day, and they hold us down, and shout out to them because they make this possible for us to come here every Monday at 11 a.m. and make sure all our technicalities are dialed in, make sure our internet is up to date, make sure we're not, we're not doing the old school
2 minutes
wire.
to air. Yeah. Where's Chloe? Where's your mic?
Right. So, again, thank you guys for taking time out of your holiday to make this happen for us, and thank you for taking your time out of this day as well, Chloe, to join me and to come here and do what we do every Monday on Connected. Anything fun you got going on today, Chloe, you want to talk about?
I'm just gonna explore. I don't really have any plans yet, but we'll see where and how the day takes me. Otherwise, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to say I'm going to be out in the wilderness. I'm going to be fishing. And you had this really dope, cool concept about just another way to display how connected we are. And I won't give it away totally. Yeah, stay tuned. Yeah. We're going to say that one's in the can. That's another idea in the can.
Just know that Iz and I are about to spend a lot of time together, and you might get to see it.
You might get to see it. And again, I want to also mention we do have some really cool things coming up in these next couple of shows. So you definitely want to stay connected. You'll be seeing a lot of folks who are on the same beaten path as you. They look just like you. They're obtaining as much information as they can, just like you. And we'll be highlighting them on our show. So definitely stay connected.
Check us out on Facebook. If you haven't liked our page, like our page. There's a new photo up now of my cat Olive, who does nothing on Labor Day. Don't be her. Be better than Olive.
Yes.
Be more active.
Be better than a cat. Definitely be better than a cat. And was that like an inside laugh breathe right now? That was.
I snorted just a little bit.
Snorted. It's all good. Well, that about does it for us here on Connected on Labor Day weekend. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Definitely catch us on our social media. Definitely take advantage of all these notes we sent you. And prepare yourself, all right? Get prepared for these opportunities. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. My name is Iz, and I'm out. My co-host, Chloe. What's up? Say your bye-byes.
I'm saying my bye-byes at Is Connected.
And I'm saying bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. We will catch you next week. Been great coming in here, hang out with y'all. But we will see you next week. Peace, and I'm out.
As I was told.
While playing this series.